Salute, Goodbreads. Welcome to the Goodbread Wrestling channel, also known as Figure 4 TV. Now, today we're going to talk about Mark Henry, who recently made some comments on Busted Open Radio about the TNA WWE partnership. Check out the intro, and when we come back, we get busy.
Mark, when you look at TNA and their relationship with the WWE, more specifically with NXT, how do you feel about the partnership as of right now?
I think it's too one-sided. I think that TNA needs to get more, and I think that can happen. You see a match with Moose and Obafemi, is going to be Obafemi. You see a match, Joe Hendry is the only one that is, getting the love. Like it's got to go back and forth. Like you win one, I win one. Let's have the rubber match.
Now, let me stop it right here because I got to disagree with Mark Henry. I don't know what Mark Henry's watching, and I think he confused the question because they asked about the partnership between NXT and TNA, and that has been fair. Now, if we was asking about TNA and the main roster, then yeah, you could say that the main roster do owe TNA some wins. But as far as NXT don't owe TNA nothing. Do we forget that the Hardys beat the NXT Tag Team Champions on NXT TV? That's TNA Tag Team Champions winning on NXT TV. Now, because the titles ain't changed, that's a whole different story, and we're going to get to that.
Remind me your opinion of Joe Hendry being at WrestleMania in the ring with Randy Orton and taking 2 RKOs. Remind me, did you think that was a good idea or not?
I would have rather him did one.
Not specifically the the 2 RKOs. I'm sorry. How did you feel about Joe being the guy in general?
No, I felt like it was awesome.
Okay.
Joe Hendry is over as hell, and did you hear the reaction?
Yes.
Like the people love him, and he's gonna be a major player. We had a couple of conversations now with Joe, and Joe's got to realize too that his window could be 10 years. His window could be 10 matches. And when you say, oh, well, my career is only going to be 10 matches, you get in the best physical shape you ever been in. Your focus is the best it's ever been. Your thinking processes of how do I get over should be at a premium. And sometimes I feel like when I see Joe, Joe is waiting. Like I don't believe in waiting to be told what to do. I believe in doing what I'm told when I get told to do it. But I got 10,000 ideas, Bully, and I want to get one of them in.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, let's do this. You have to tell me, whoa. Pump your brakes, Mark. Relax. You're gonna get more than 10 matches. Well, I'm not living like that. I'm trying to get it in. When people see you ambitious, they see you dieting, they see you showing up early, they see you asking the production staff, hey, what's the best place for me to stand and turn? Going to Tom Stewart that's operating the cameras. Hey, when I walk down to the ring, what's the best angle for you to catch me the way you want to catch me? Oh man, great question. Turn like this so I can see you open up like that. Like you got to get your ass out there and want it. I don't see Joe overly wanting it like that. And you got to be told to do that. Otherwise, who gonna tell you? Like it's a learning process. I'm not there, but I want to know who's there telling him. Who?
I honestly don't know who is there when it comes to TNA. I don't know who is there telling him to be that. I don't know. I know you could get that out of him. I know I could get that out of him. I don't know anybody who shares our level of aggressiveness like that. I will say this. I agree with everything that you're saying, and I did see a little bit of a different side of him last Monday when he was in studio with us at Win in Vegas. Joe had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Now, performing in front of 60,000 people at WrestleMania against Randy Orton might give you that chip, which is great. I didn't see that timid and shy and laid back. As a matter of fact, Joe barked at me a little bit, and I joking with him back. I said, knock the bass out of your voice, right? Because I'm not used to that from Joe, but it's good to see that because you need to find that. Yeah,
I love it. And I want him to be more that guy. I'm not saying be an asshole.
Right.
You can be argumentative and not be a horse's ass. You know, like he needs to challenge where he's going and be ambitious about trying to get there. In 10 matches. The next 10 matches, hell, I want them to happen in the next month.
Yeah.
I want all of them to happen in the next 30 days.
So you heard Mark Henry, guys. He really wanted to see Joe Hendry hand raised over Randy Orton. Now, I don't know if him and Randy Orton got any personal gripe with each other. So I don't know why Mark Henry wanted to see Joe Henry win. And that's pretty much where his statement came from, because he think that Joe Henry was squashed at WrestleMania 41. I don't think Joe Henry was squashed. I think he did the job. And like he said, guys, we're going to get to what he said, because he answered this very well on the Busted Open podcast. He answered that question very well, because he know he had to do the job. And Mark Henry, he speak like he want to force Joe Henry's hand. It's not Joe Henry's place to come up with storylines or creative. It's Joe Henry's place to do what is told. And right now, they got Joe Henry as the champion representing the company. So however they need him to represent the company is what he gonna do. He ain't got no right to sit up there and give any opinion, when we all know Joe Henry not the greatest wrestler, like even aesthetically, like he got a dad bod, you know what I mean? Like the guy is a character, yo. And oddly enough, he fit on the main roster. That's why it wasn't a squash. It wasn't a squash, yo. That's his character. He got that goofy character.
When your segment ended last night, I picked up my Twitter machine and I typed in the rub of all rubs.
Yeah.
That was an incredible moment, but I want to take you through the highs and maybe the perceived lows. I don't know. I want to get your opinion on this. Mm-hmm. Like you said, you're the big surprise. The doors open. You spin around. There you are, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. You got a hell of a pop, and that wasn't a pop fed into the audience. That was a legit cheers for you, because those people know who you are. You get to walk the ramp at WrestleMania. You get to step in the ring with Randy Orton. Positive, positive, positive. You have your match. Lack of a better word, glorified squash? Yes, no, or maybe?
I disagree.
Okay, what would you call it? Tell me.
So a squash, like the thing is, the offense was back and forth.
Okay.
Whereas a squash, to me, it could have been ding ding, RKO, and there you go.
Okay.
For me, what I was thinking about was, look, my different title reigns are defined by different things. When Josh Alexander was TNA World Champion, it was classic match. My job as TNA Champion, and what defines this reign, is business. It's getting as many eyeballs on TNA Wrestling as possible. You know who else lost quickly in WrestleMania in similar fashion? John Cena. And what am I going to all of a sudden say I'm too good to do that? That was, To me, that's exactly how it should have gone. It's Randy Orton's 20th.
I thought it was a feature, Joe.
Yes, I agree.
I thought it was a feature match.
And actually, do you know what CM Punk told me? We had a great conversation afterwards, and CM Punk told me that was exactly how it should have gone. And if it had gone longer, I think it would have worked out worse for me. There is no shame in taking the RKO and losing to a legend like Randy Orton.
Dave?
I'm the TNA World Champion. It's my job to rebuild.
Great answer, and I'm detecting something in your answer that I've never heard before. You are very confident about what you just said.
Yeah.
The confidence that's coming out of your mouth right now, I've not heard from you before. You have different tone, different inflection. Last night did something to you, didn't it?
100%.
What did it do to you?
John Cena said it this morning. He was on Pat McAfee's show, and he said, I think Joe Hendry is going to be a major player. And he made me believe that. Me and John Cena had another conversation last night that reinforced that for me. When John Cena won the championship, I was walking through back to the little room that I had, and John Cena, the camera crew's filming him. He's just won the championship. And he comes over to me, and we had a conversation. Very similar to what he said on Pat McAfee, and he was like, you did exactly what I told you to do at the Rumble, and you were great tonight. And you're going to be a major player.
Excellent.
I think you already are a major player. One of the things that being in front of a crowd like that, it boosts your confidence and it shows you belong. Like you're not just another wrestler. Like you're Joe Hendry. And we talked about this when you won the title. Like there's going to be an elevation period that you're going to go through, and then it's going to get lonely at the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not going to have other people around. You're going to be in private cars.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need to do upfronts in New York and Los Angeles, and you're going to put you on a plane by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's stuff that's going to happen, and you got to be ready for it. Did you ever think that when you started this run of I want to do better and be better, that it would happen this fast?
No. Honestly, like I had the highest aspirations for myself, but never this speed. What's crazy, I want to tell you guys two things. After the last Rumble, I walked in to the people I train with back home, and I said, mark my words, I'll be in that next Rumble. You watch what I do, and you emulate it, because I'm going to do it. And I did it. And I remember watching the last Mania, and I just had this feeling. I was by myself, but I went, I should be there. I should be there. And it's happening. It's unfolding. Wow. I never thought it'd be possible at this speed. Last year, that's when the song started to gain traction because people were talking about it around WrestleMania time. And that's what gave me the idea, maybe now it's time to release it. I released this song on April 29th. We're not even a calendar year forward. Wow. And all these things have happened. WrestleMania match with Randy Orton. Main event, No Mercy. I have an N64 cartridge of No Mercy, and I main evented No Mercy. I had WWE's most watched viral video on X last year. TNA World Champion. And you know, I believe that I've contributed to TNA Wrestling. It's a team effort. Like, I mean, we have to put over the Hardys as well. They are huge drivers of business for TNA, but I feel honored to have a seat at that table. I feel like I've made a positive contribution.
But guys, a partnership is not WWE giving their titles to TNA stars, guys. Y'all gotta understand what this partnership is. WWE don't need to give TNA their title for TNA to gain their audience. WWE already giving something to TNA. They're giving TNA exposure. You don't need to hotshot our title to do that. And that's the problem. A lot of the IWC marks, they like to see title changes and shit for no reason. And then when the title get on the person, then they ready to take the fucking title off. WWE is doing a great partnership. So I disagree with Mark Henry. I think this partnership is doing well. You guys don't understand what a partnership is. I think they're doing great. They're doing way better than the partnership TNA had with AEW, where AEW had Kenny Omega, their star, win the TNA championship, and nobody on TNA ever wore the AEW title. And that's why when you're doing a partnership, leave the titles out of it. I get it. To hype the match, they put the titles on the line, and that's what gets you guys mad. It get predictable. And then we all know, like, oh, all right, if it's a TNA title up for grab and the match happened in NXT, then the TNA guy gonna win. Vice versa, if it's an NXT match and it happened in TNA, then the NXT guy gonna win, because it's very delicate when you start playing with these championships and these legacies. The fact that WWE is even partnering with TNA is a benefit to TNA, because WWE could just put the block on them too, like how they blocking out AEW from everything. Remember, nobody knew TNA. TNA was dead in the water. So WWE bringing their characters on their shows, the Forbidden Door, WWE engaging in the Forbidden Door with TNA is already a plus for TNA. Already. What is TNA giving WWE? What do TNA provide WWE with their partnership? They are doing what they're supposed to do. They provide us some new matches. They provide us some mega matches, and that don't mean they gotta win those mega matches, guys. That's part of the partnership. As long as they get their guy in the match and they get some exposure and some eyeballs on their television product, then voila. Then the partnership is solid. That's a good partnership, guys. Remember, right now they're in a partnership that's not 50-50. They're in like a partnership that's 75-25, with WWE providing the 75%, because we're giving them the audience and we're also giving them some characters. We're giving them some matches. So I gotta disagree with Mark Henry. I think this is a beautiful partnership, and WWE is doing their thing. They're allowing their NXT stars to go over there. We all wanted. We couldn't wait to see the Oba Femi versus Moose match, guys. That was one of the greatest matches, one of the most underrated matches of this year. I know the year is still early, but that match is underrated. Ain't nobody really talking about that match, and that match was fire. Now, at first, I must admit, I didn't believe in Joe Hendry. I thought he was corny, and I just didn't like him. And then he grew on me. So I like Joe Hendry, but I don't like Joe Hendry enough to have him beat anybody on the main roster, y'all. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel about the main roster. Our main roster can't just be having outsiders come in. And you see that this is the thing. This is why y'all need to leave the titles alone, because the matches could be good. And we could do wins and losses so long as we don't ever win their title, so that we don't gotta have them win our title. It's gonna happen, guys, man. It's gonna happen. You just gotta stop thinking you can control the storylines and you can control wrestling. It'll happen. Not gonna happen frequently, but it'll happen, guys. And if you ask me, it's gonna be the TNA title is gonna be on WWE TV first. Definitely. But it'll happen. You know what I mean? It will happen. But as long as they keep the titles away and separate and stop making title matches, that's what they should do. If I would say stop making title matches, because then the matches will be more believable, because wins and losses would count more than the title changes. Just like I could see the WWE Women's Tag Team titles being worn by one of the TNA tag teams over there. No cap. But guys, y'all gotta stop that shit, yo. Stop playing with the titles, man. Stop wanting to see the titles change. You know what I mean? And you know WWE don't play that. WWE rarely does do that. If that was the case, we would have been seeing the NXT title on the main roster being defended, and they don't even do that with their in-house titles, guys. Think about it. We don't see nobody from the main roster winning the NXT title and then bringing the NXT title to the main roster to then defend it. We don't see that. You know what I mean? Because that's you don't do that to the brand. So it's the same thing with the TNA WWE partnership. And like I said, WWE is already putting out way more than TNA in this partnership. That's why WWE don't need to win the TNA title, and they don't need to let TNA win their title. But guys, y'all let me know what y'all think of the partnership. I get it. It's predictable because you know, but we just want to see the match, guys. The forbidden door is to see matches, not to see title changes. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Like, share, and only subscribe if you're a wrestling fiend. Like, you gotta be a wrestling head, because all we do is talk wrestling over here, baby. All I do is give you my opinion on wrestling, and I'm not perfect.